Hi everyone, Vegas Film Critic here. Jeffrey K. Howard here to review the thriller The Snowman starring Michael Fassbender and Rebecca Furguson. I don't think there's been a movie campaign that has intrigued me more than The Snowman. Have you been seeing the ads for this and the commercials? You know, it's about a serial killer who's leaving snowmen as his calling card. And Detective Harry Hole, played Michael Fassbender, he's a bit of an alcoholic, bit of a troubled past, but he's a brilliant detective. Comes onto the case to find out where all these missing women are disappearing to, and his, like, I guess you could call his protege, Rebecca Furguson, plays this up-and-coming detective that is also using him to help find these snowmen. You know, so not the snowman, the victim, the serial killer, the snowman. Did I get that right? Yeah, I got that right. Yeah, I got it right. So seeing the ads for this, seeing the little notes left like in child scratch, you know, childhood writing, you know, teasing the detectives, like, you know, if you did what you were supposed to do, you would have found her alive. And, you know, so, and the movie's got this really bleached out white, you know, feel to it, this real depressing, dismal scenery, you know, just like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that kind of European flair to it, because the movie takes place in Norway. And all the characters, you know, they had all these Norwegian names, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. So this is supposed to be The Hunt for a Serial Killer, and it's based on a best-selling book. I haven't read the book, but in terms of the movie, it's pretty abysmal. It's just as bad as the blank, bleached-out landscape in the movie. I mean, the pacing of the movie, the story, it's just so confusing. There's so many subplots going on in this film. You need like a little chart to try to figure out what's going on. Val Kilmer plays a detective that's presented in flashbacks, like almost 9-10 years earlier. And sometimes the film, as it progresses, we go back to these, you know, 9 years before, but there's no kind of transition. You know, so sometimes I'm thinking I'm watching Val Kilmer on the screen in one of the most unusual roles he's ever had. I think his voice was dubbed the whole time. I'm like, I had to remind myself, wait a minute, we're 9 years ago. You know, we're not in modern times. So the movie got so confusing. And when you're trying to figure out a murder mystery and a serial killer like this, and like in the vein of Seven, you're trying to figure it out with the detective. You're trying to look for clues in the movie. You're trying to figure out things to kind of maybe outsmart the actors, outsmart the characters, or just sort of kind of like when it all happens, when you get the resolution, you go, oh, okay. But at the end of this movie, instead of you going, oh, yeah, you go, oh, yeah? What? I was so bored. I was so bored in this movie. And not only that, I got home and I started researching the movie, because I don't like to read up on movies until I've seen the movie, and then I like to learn how it's made and what the actors went through and all the kind of behind the scenes stuff, and it just gives me a whole, you know, well-bodied experience. And when I started reading about The Snowman, they had portions of the script they didn't shoot. The director was admitting, the same director who did Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which I thought was boring too, he didn't shoot certain sequences and parts in the script, and he admitted that. And he said when they got most of the film back and they were trying to make sense of it, even they were confused about it. And you have such great actors, such great talent in here. The great J.K. Simmons, you know, remember Whiplash? 1, 2, 3. You know, he plays this guy that's trying to bring the Olympics to Oslo, to Norway. I mean, he had a character that was like, what is he doing in this movie? You know, he just had such great talent that was wasted. And, you know, I think Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio were once attached to direct and star in this. I think they could have made a much better go at it. But a movie that had so much buzz around it, such a great ad campaign, ended up being one of the worst movies of the year. And it's no fault of the actors. It was just a confusing, abysmal mystery. And you feel chunks of this movie are missing. You're like, well, wait a minute, what are we doing here? I mean, it just didn't make any sense to me. And I brought 2 friends along with me, and they were like the same way. I felt bad because I like them to have a good movie-going experience, you know? So The Snowman was just, it's like watching snow melt. It was that dull and that slow. And it just had tons of problems. It really did. So Snowman was a great disappointment, and I would stay away from it. All right? Don't do it. Don't do it. If you do, come back and tell me, and you know, see a matinee at least, but don't see The Snowman. Wait till it comes on cable, or just don't do it. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website, vegasfilmcritic.com. Check me out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Talk to me, people. Let me know what you thought of The Snowman. I want to know what you thought. Hasn't been the first time I've been wrong, but I'm not wrong about this. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, share, and comment below. And if you're not watching on YouTube, watch one of my TV show maybe, get on over to YouTube. You'll find everything there. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.